Thank you, LPR, Chelsea, and the entire editorial team. And thank you to Meryl and Brian for their absolutely stunning poems. I feel incredibly nervous following these two amazing artists. I'm going to read the middle section of this essay. So for you to find out what happens, you will have to read the entire thing. I guess that's suspense, right? The woman on the ledge. I stood in the aisle of the home renovation store, a spackling tool in each hand, testing the sharpness of their edges and the comfort of their handles, weighing them with unnecessary care, as if such careful consideration would reveal everything I needed to know about the intricacies of tiling a basement floor, when an employee called over the loudspeaker the license plate of my minivan. "Come to the service desk," she or he said. Those details, the timbre of a voice and the faces of onlookers, are long gone from my memory. What I do remember is a startling pain, fresh as a paper cut, quick in its slicing and prolonged in its smarting. I was aware of my surroundings, yet lifted from my body by a sense of dread. I felt inexplicably hollow. Trowels still in hand, I marched forward, troubled. By the cash registers, 2 police officers waited for me. "Come with us," one of them said. "What about these?" I asked, believing the officers would wait for me to purchase one of the spackling tools. I'd left in the van my 2 children who were tired from their swimming lessons and had begged me not to go inside the store. And for the first time and the last, I'd said yes, because I believed no harm would befall them during this 5-minute errand. Yet a man in a green pickup truck parked in the spot next to mine and, seeing me lock the doors to my van and leave the children behind, called 911. He acted rashly, maybe vindictively, I'll never know, but the errors in judgment and of negligence were entirely mine. In the parking lot, a fire truck, an ambulance, too many police cars, people standing as if in an amusement park to watch a vista of human frailty. Among the bystanders, my son, Philippe, 7 years old. He stands between 2 officers holding his sister Maya in his arms. He rocks her, whispers in her ear. He holds her in his arms like a parcel, gently, as if a ribbon of doubt tethered to his heart could unravel her. She waves the hand of a surgical glove inflated like a balloon, a gift from an emergency medical technician. Philippe does not cry, only looks at his sister, trying to distract her. I reach for him, for her, for them, these 2 bodies who were fleshed from my body and who minutes before were still mine, but I am held back. And then my son sees me. This is the only image that matters. The younger of the 2 officers who'd escorted me out of the store by holding my arm mistook my shock for lack of cooperation. I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, and the touch of his fingers on my skin felt like a minor violation. He held me in place and refused to let go. "You don't give a shit about your kids," he said. "Watch your language," I answered. "That's it, turn around." He'd had enough. Are you kidding me?" I hadn't yet learned, the more I tried to rationalize my actions, the more I slipped into the quicksand of his disgust. He pushed my shoulders down until I lay pressed against the hood of his car, my head turned away from my children. I regret this moment of not holding their gaze, of being incapable of forming syllables on my lips to let them know all the things I tried to teach them, summarized in these words: "Mama loves you." The officer handcuffed me, did not read me my rights. I planned scenarios of exoneration, the ways I would press charges and get him fired, when all along he knew I held nothing against him, that even as he folded me into the back seat of his car, I was becoming nothing. Sometimes when I think of it, that brief instance of believing in my vindication, I feel a tremor somewhere deep within me, a small surfacing rictus of pain I have come to know as shame. An EMT approached the car to talk to me, and I answered his questions with the hope that this trouble would soon be over. Surprised by my honesty, he turned polite, affable, almost apologetic. And then he asked, "Do the kids have allergies?" I answered no. He smiled half-heartedly because he knew what his job entailed and what was to come next. I read pity in his eyes. Only when he asked at what time they went to bed and what kind of pajamas they liked to wear did I realize these men intended to take my children away. Then I understood what I had done. I wept as I never had before.